to access and be able to practice, right? And then I want to get creative with the podcast. I have a podcast channel already, but I have another one that I'm waiting to launch using a new app. And in that podcast, we can actually do video podcasts. And I can invite you guys to where we're side by side and we can practice together on a podcast. And they can watch you guys learning live and maybe apply those techniques to their own lives. I'm excited about it. There's a lot of cool things that going to live with mom and stepping down my job so I'm not working all these different hours is going to free me up to be able to commit to serving this community better. So excited about that. Okay, guys. Hi, Ferda. Good to see you. Enough chatty chatty. Usually, if I have Candy here, it's a gentle reminder to get back on track. And when I don't, I have to keep talking and talking. So, guys, if you want to come on stage today, what we're going to be talking about today is pronunciation, how to pronounce things better. So if you feel that that would help you to get a better job or to get a raise at your job or to take your IELTS or your TOEFL exam, come talk with me. I can look up some commonly mispronounced words from your native language to our language, and we can go over those together. But we're going to target them. So we're going to talk together, and then if you already know some words or phrases or types of things that are hard for you to say from your country, come up on stage. We'll work together on that. Only going to be here about 90 minutes because I need to not run, but take off to an appointment at the DMV to try to get my driver's license. And Sherry's here. Great. Sherry, welcome from China. If you can camera on, that would be really helpful. Awesome. Hello, hello. How are
Hello,
you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I I said awesome because I'm a communicator, so being able to see you helps me to help you. And also because you're from China and I've worked with your country the longest, so I may know some of the things that you might be experiencing already. So welcome. How are you? Do you want to do an introduction?
Okay, I am from China, the city of Shanghai, and my English isn't very good, especially spoken English. But my work need the skill to speak English, so I register on Hello Talk app. I want to practice my English. Yeah.
Good, good, good. Well, this is a great app. I've been with them for a few years, and I was say most of our community here, our community, Toliko Vima English, is from China. So I'm very connected to China. And what do you think? What do you think you need to work on? What do you think you need to work on with your English pronunciation, like how you say things? Is there anything that you're aware of that you need to work on or practice?
Maybe you ask me why I want to practice speaking English, right?
Yeah, yeah. I saw you were reading the text, the subtitles. So maybe I was talking too quickly. Um, what kind of things do you want to practice?
Everything, maybe.
Okay, well, let me take a deep breath. Everybody, let's get ready to practice everything, everybody.
For my work, I am an engineer for IC design. Yeah, so for my work, maybe I need to practice some spoken English with the words which related to my work.
Okay.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
The other way, I also want to learn some spoken English. Maybe one day I travel outside, travel other country, I can speak freely with the uh, native speakers.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, in building your English, I know that you're probably well trained in your reading and writing because of your schooling, right?
Yeah,
But now you need to learn how to express yourself better in your
yeah,
spoken English, and you probably want to speak more and more like a native English speaker, right, for your job?
yeah. It sometimes is very hard for us to open my mouth. Maybe I'm afraid somebody they cannot understand what I say, or they may how to say that in English. They may think that my English isn't very good. So uh, always I always afraid to speak English, but recently I need to work with uh with a co-worker um which come from Africa.
Africa?
Yeah, and he can only speak English. He cannot understand any Chinese. So that pushed me to spoke spoke English. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes we need that pressure to use our English, right, where we have to use it. And that can help us to get out of our comfort zone and into using English. With you and with many people that I help, I know that your intelligence level is already high. And I do not say that to sound like I'm flattering people. It's just an awareness that I know that mentally you work at a high level, but your ability to express yourself in English needs to grow to match what you're thinking up here. Hello, hello. It's okay, it's okay. Hi.
Okay. This is my little daughter. She is 3 years
Oh,
old. Yeah.
3、3、一、
Yeah.
二、三。你
You
好，
speak.
你好。
Hello, teacher.
So cute, so cute.
Yeah.
Um, so with you having that need to talk with someone in English is great. As you experience more conversation, your confidence will go higher. And when your confidence goes higher, your fear will go lower. That's how it works. If you're afraid and you don't have a experience, then you will lose your confidence, right? But because of your coworker, you have to practice, you have to use your English, so your confidence will naturally go higher. And
I hope so.
yeah, that's good to have that pressure because many people in China say, "Oh, well, I'm shy, I'm introverted," and I don't agree. I think your culture supports being quiet. And so many people are like, "Oh, I don't talk." Yes, yes, you just need to get out there and use your English. So you'll do very well. For our productivity today, can you think of any words that are challenging for you to say, or maybe you think that your native accent is very strong when you say certain words? Are you aware of any?
I didn't well some words which I cannot spoken very well because around me there are all no native English speaker or some no. This is teacher. I'm studying English. Okay. So maybe I hope you can give some advice when you listen my listen I speak English.
Yeah, well, so the encouragement I want to give to you is that if you focus for your sound, if you want to reduce your accent, which I think accents are very good, guys. Accents represent your country, and in the United States, we are very much used to people having accents. It's not a problem for us to talk with people with accents. But in your country, they may um, not give you the opportunities, or they might not think that you're performing well if you don't sound more like a native English speaker. So that's why I want to help. And I know in China, people have challenges with several different sounds that are not in the Mandarin language, like the TH sound, like the hard V sound, the W sound. These sounds are not emphasized, or they're not um, in Mandarin. So for you to say thank you is something that takes a lot of focus, because in your country, you don't have the TH sound. So remember, your facial muscles and the way your mouth and your tongue and your teeth work together is something very different for you, because you don't use that sound. If you talk with me now, I know that you know how to say thank you, but when you start speaking fast, you would probably say thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah,
And that's part of your native accent.
yeah.
So if you practice some of these sounds intensely, like say it 10 times in the mirror, making the sound and making yourself focus on your sound, then you will develop the muscle memory so that you can say it more often the proper way. And that's something that will help your English sound like a native very quickly. So there's four different areas for people going from Mandarin language to English that if you practice them, it sounds very basic. But if you practice them all the time, like for 10 seconds when you're washing your hands, and you just look in the mirror and you say, thank you, thank you. It sounds very basic, but if you go slowly and you say it properly as you're washing your hands, rinse them off, dry, and then move on, you'll develop that muscle memory so that more times you will say it properly than thank you. If you do it fast, okay, Jonathan said to say it 10 times, and you go, thank you, thank you. By the fourth time or so, you will slip into saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. So you'll actually hurt yourself if you go fast, because you're trying to go fast, you will reinforce the old way more than the new way. So you have to go slowly. You have to do it often, and then your English TH sound will rise to the top, and all of your TH words will become more proper. The same with the letter V, like advice, advice, advice.
Advice.
Sometimes you'll say advice with a W
Advice.
sound,
Yeah.
because the V sound is not very prominent in your language. Your brain slips into something more comfortable, more familiar. And if you can't hear the difference, then you won't correct yourself. And the best way to grow is to correct yourself, right? Is to stop yourself and go, no, 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 no. Advice. Okay, okay, okay. Advice, right? Another one is the L sound. We have a way of saying the letter L down here and up here. So up here you say la 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 la, but down here you say ol.
Oh,
And it comes from way down here. So the word world,
yeah.
world
Yeah.
is using the la 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 and ending on the ol. See? So if you practice this saying world, it's down here. You can feel when your voice box goes down and it makes the all, just like the word Girl.
mm,
Girl.
girl,
Girl.
girl,
Girl.
girl,
Yeah. Yeah.
girl.
And so making contact with yourself will make your brain more alert. So when you're practicing, you make contact, your brain is like, why is she touching her face? What's going on? So your brain wakes up. It's like very focused, like, what's going on? And by over pronouncing the sounds, you're telling your brain, listen, like with your 3 year old child, sometimes you're playing and sometimes you're like, hey, 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 pay attention to mommy right now. I'm serious. Don't touch it. Don't touch it, right? So you want to get your brain's attention. And so the L sound down here, you want to remind yourself it should come down here.
Mm, mm,
Girl.
mm,
We're
mm.
old. World. World. Right? Yeah. These are
Mm,
some tricks. These are little tricks that can help you. The V sound, the W sound, the L sound, and the TH sound. If you practice all of these slowly, your brain will change the way you say many English words already, and you will start saying them more like a native. And I trust me, people will say, wow, how did you change your accent? It sounds so native now. It seems simple, and the hardest thing for me is to slow people down because they want to go really, really, really fast. But if you go fast, you will slip into your old ways instead of the new way. So I know all of you who are listening, um, many of you are from China, and there's a lot of competition in China for jobs, and your country will limit the applicants based on how you sound. And so I want to help you level up so that you guys can get the promotion, get the job. You don't lack intelligence. Sometimes you lack patience because you have to do these things slowly and intentionally, focusing, and you can do it when you're washing your hands. I know it's a very clean country. You're very conscious of germs and wearing masks. But what you need to do is when you're washing your hands or using sanitizer, get in front of a mirror and practice your TH and your V sound and your W sound and your O. And then you will level up right away. Another thing you can do, Sherry, is you can record yourself saying something, and you can even text me and ask me to say a word or a phrase for you, and I will send you the voice clip, and then listen to how I say it and listen to the recording of how you say it. And you'll be able to hear, oh, I'm saying it differently. Oh, so when you're aware, when you become more
mm,
aware that you are saying it differently, then you'll stop yourself when you go to say it wrong. You'll go, oh, wait, let me say world, world,
mm.
world, world. That makes sense? Cool, cool,
Yeah, I
cool.
can understand what you are saying. Is very good. Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
good job with the TH. Good job. Yeah. It's not that your accent sounds bad because accents are beautiful things, guys. Those of you in the audience, wherever you're from, accents are like the flag from your country. It's about your people and culture. You should not be ashamed of it at all. And when English speaking people hear an accent, most of us, there are some crazy Americans, but most of us think, wow, they can speak English plus another language. That's so cool. So don't think it's a bad thing or something you should be ashamed of. And some people won't even tell me what country they're from. When I hear they have an accent, I'll say, "Oh, oh, what other languages do you speak?" And I can see it on their face. Maybe they're from a country that the media is painting them in a bad picture. So they're like, "Oh, you know." But it's not like that. It's not like that here. It's definitely not like that in our community because we really care about each other in our community. We celebrate our differences. We try to make an example of how the world should be by cooperating and enjoying each other. So, guys in the chat, don't worry what country you're from. I don't even watch the news. I don't even watch the news. So, the only way I know about what's going on in the world is through you guys. And so feel welcome here. And Sherry, what I wanted to do is let me check real quick because I'm going to send you a little hand wave. It should show up. And that means you can text me directly. It's okay. I offer this to everyone. And if you have questions or if you want me to say certain things on a voice clip, just ask me. I think, can I send a video clip? I don't know. But just ask me and that way you'll have something to compare. Okay?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Do you do you have any other questions? You can have questions. Don't feel rushed. I know you're VIP. You can stay here if you want to, and I can bring somebody on stage with you. Or and you can ask me any questions. Do you have any other questions right now?
You have said that you know China a lot, right?
Hmm.
Have you been working in China?
No, not at all. And I plan to visit. I planned for a long time now to visit Shenzhen. Shenzhen.
新疆. Oh,
Shenzhen. It's where Hello Talk headquarters. The build Hello Talk. This company is in Shenzhen, China, and so I plan to visit.
深圳.
How do you say it?
深圳.
Shenzhen.
深圳. 对.
Shenzhen. Is that closer? Is that
Yeah.
closer? Okay, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Um, but I can't do it this year. So I will try to do it next year after I've moved and everything. That way I can meet with Hello Talk and get to maybe have some input on what they're doing here because I think they can do things a little bit better. Um, and also to get to know them and then maybe get to meet with a few students, or followers or community members. That would be so cool. But no, I have not been in mainland China before. Not yet.
So you are a English teacher?
I teach fluency, which is connecting your thinking to your speaking, right? But I'm not a teacher in my life. I'm not a professional teacher. I work at a company. It's not exciting, but my passion is doing these things and making podcasts and video with you guys. So yeah, that's. I wish there were a way to get paid from commercials. That would be great so that I could do more of it, and that might be happening soon. So cool,
I can
cool.
understand. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. What do you do for your job? You told me before you work and you talk with someone from Africa speaking English, but remind me, you told me what you do before. What is your profession again?
Mm. You know about your phone, your television or cars, there needs a lot of circuits. I just a member to design the circuits.
Oh,
That's
circuits.
my job.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Like the circuits.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, I know someone else in China who created circuits, but with her company, sometimes she would go away for one, like go into a focus where she stayed at her company for 2 or 3 days without going home. And then she would go and have a week off. And she said that she stays there, she sleeps there, she works on designing new circuits, and then sometimes she would be off work for 1 or 2 weeks. But when she did the circuit design, sometimes it was she had to
Yeah.
go into the company. So she was a very interesting person. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. She got paid good money, but she would sometimes have to stay at her company for a few days or a week or two, live there, eat there, work there, and then she could come home. And I was like, wow, that sounds very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes when customer want to tip out their chips, we must meet their requirement.
deadline.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's
mm,
right. Yeah, we will
mm-hmm.
do best to try to meet their schedule.
Yeah, and those of you in the audience, we have a lot of people in the audience, so I always talk with them as
Okay,
well.
okay,
No,
okay.
stay. It's okay, Sherry, stay. I wanted to explain to the people in the audience that this is an example of how China is a leader in the world when it comes to technology production and things that many of us use every day. They are leading in manufacturing as well as inventing new technology. And that is a big change because for many years, China would reproduce things for people at a lower cost. And people thought, oh, it's not very good quality. But the world demanded more products at lesser quality. The world demanded it. And China stepped up and produced it because the world wanted to buy things for less money that had all the features and they didn't care if it doesn't last long. So I say this in defense of China and also to explain now that China is a world leader in many, many ways of high tech, good quality, very efficient design. So very cool job you have. Do you practice each night at 8 o'clock? Is that your practice time?
Generally, I will listen, only listen. This is the second time that I on a stage. So
Oh,
I really appreciate that you invite me on the stage. Thank you.
oh, of course. It worked out well. I'm glad that you were here. And of course, like I said, I know you have a young baby, a young daughter. And so if you have to step off stage, I understand, but you're welcome to stay if you want to. It's up to you. Okay?
Thank thank you.
Yeah, of course. So we have a lot of hands raised. I'm going to bring up somebody with Sherry. And Sherry, whenever you have to leave, you can just go, but you are welcome to stay. Okay?
Thank you. I understand.
Of course. Good,
Hello.
good, good. Hi, Vivi.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. This is Sherry. She's joining
Ah,
us. And of
Sherry.
course, I'm Jonathan.
Hello, Sherry. Yeah, I
Vivi,
heard you're talking about Shenzhen because I'm living in Shenzhen. Shenzhen is my
oh,
second hometown.
ah, so cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited because one of my friends who is a live streamer here, Jules. Jules is a great live streamer. She's from the UK and she's
Ah,
in China right now.
okay.
She created a WeChat group of people that she planned to meet when she went to China. And she has met with them. They went to eat. She's meeting them. She's staying in China for a few weeks. And she's also promoting her new book that she's an author. So Jules is a Hello Talk live streamer. She has long, beautiful blonde curly hair, and she's
Oh,
the
I
first.
think I know. Yeah, I know the
She's
who
super
who.
cool.
Yeah, who she is. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, maybe
she's
I saw her in some hostess live room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in China. So you guys, if you see her here, her name is Jules. The other ones, Mick is a live streamer here, and also my Mick is like my brother for sure. We've met a few times, and I've stayed at the home of Teacher Steph. Teacher Steph is also a live streamer here from the United States. So all of us plan to visit China and
Oh,
talk to the people from Hello Talk. And we want to go on a little tour around China representing Hello Talk and meeting some of our followers. So that will be so exciting, but I don't know if it's going to happen this year or not. We'll see.
so it's up to you. You can make a plan. just like
Yeah,
the
there's a
ardent dreamers and
I
go
know.
to
I
Shenzhen.
Yeah, I have things to work out with my job, but also my mom. She's got some health issues, so I don't want to leave until we get that situated. But yeah, so when the time gets closer, guys, I will let you guys know. Definitely when if there's a date, I will let you guys know, and that way we can meet a lot of our followers, and we can also show Hello Talk that
Yeah,
we have a group in China so they can work with us. So cool. But today's topic, Vivi, I was talking with Sherry and we were learning about different things to pronounce in English a little better. Do you have any questions about that, of how to say things or with your English learning? Do you have any questions?
yeah. The pronunciation is very difficult for me. You know,
Like what? Mm-hmm.
like some sound. Recently, I had a pronounce problem with the word version.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Uh, Actually, I went to uh, two streamer to live room, and the hostess taught me to pronounce this word. But I think I didn't I didn't fully got it. A version, just like I bought a new version of laptop.
Good. You used it well, and they have it in the chat. Good job, guys. Good job. I see it. It's funny. I just saw someone and their name is XG, and and it caught my attention because that's also a singing group, you know. I was like, they're not here. But anyway, yeah, version. You said it correctly, and you used it properly in a sentence. Was it that ZSH sound that was hard for you? Zh,
Yeah, yes,
version.
yeah, ver, because this word is similar, similar to another word.
Which other word is it similar to?
Uh, at first, I always pronounce version to virgin.
Oh, they're really close, the soft G sound, right?
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And I take maybe 2 days to correct my pronunciation. Yeah, with
That's
this word.
great.
Yeah, and I
That is
went to
great.
yeah I went to
Mm-hmm.
twice to the live room to
Good,
ask
good, good.
the host to taught me to teach me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
everyone, you can speak freely here, guys. I'm not an English teacher, so I will not correct your forms of words or anything like that. Our focus here is to get you to go from thinking something to saying it. So I want you guys to feel so comfortable using your English, whatever your English is. I'm a communicator, so I can understand you guaranteed. No problem. My brain is putting it all together. So that's the benefit of being here. You guys can be casual, just speak however you speak in English, and we'll make that connection better. Yeah, hearing the difference is really important to hear the target, how you want to sound, and then to understand how to shape your face so that you
yeah,
can make that sound, and then go slowly because it's like when you go to the gym and you want to try a new piece of equipment or a new exercise, you go slowly at first. You want to make sure you're doing it right, your hands are in the right place, you don't put too much weight, you don't go fast because you could get hurt, right? So you go slowly to train your body on how to do something new, and you want to go slowly to teach your mouth and your lips and your tongue and your teeth how to cooperate and say the word the way you want to say it. If you do that for a few days or a few weeks, your super smart brain will go, oh, oh, that's how we're going to do it. And then you'll say a lot of words really good. It will
Yeah, yeah.
it will
And
update to a new version.
and recently, I learned a way how to how to improve my listening from a radio. And I think it makes sense because I always had trouble on listening, on English listening, and the the host said in the radio, you have to to improve your listening uh, by listening a sentence as one sound, not listen to the word, a one word. Listen to a whole sentence or maybe half a sentence as a sound.
Mhm. Mhm.
Not let me for example. Today I learned uh, how do how do you say uh, how do you how do you say we blah blah, and he just taught uh, uh how how chai we
Oh. Did you
in the
freeze? Oh
short
no,
way
you're oh.
to pronounce the whole the like the type of
Oh.
sentence,
Mhm.
the type of how how do you say we can go to shopping, for example? How do you say we can go to shopping?
Uh-huh.
Or how do we say how do you say we to deal this thing? And he taught just how try we just in a short way because
Okay.
because the native English speaker always say something very quickly. Sometimes we can't get what they are saying because they combine the sound, they combine maybe the half of a sentence as a
Mhm.
one sound very quickly. You have to
Yeah.
listen again and to familiar with this sound.
Yeah, because when
I
people speak fast, the words blend together when people speak
yeah.
fast English, and it can be confusing for you guys to listen to it. So that is why when I say I am a communicator, I am very aware of this. And so when I talk, I try to separate my words more clearly so that it's enjoyable for when you're listening. Hi, Happy, welcome. Happy, this is
Hi,
Vivi. She's
hi,
we're talking
Johnathan.
here.
Hi,
How are
Wei.
you?
Good evening. Good evening. I heard, yeah,
Yeah,
I was heard the Wei from Shenzhen
yeah.
because I'm interested. I used to be living in Shenzhen over 10 years.
Oh,
Ah,
10 years.
Yeah,
cool.
Oh, you have been
yes,
student for 10 years.
I graduated university in Wuhan and
Okay,
work in Shenzhen over 10 years, and now I moved to Japan. I live in Japan. I live in Japan 3 years.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
So cool.
yeah.
So where are you now?
Oh, I live in Tokyo. Tokyo
Tokyo.
now.
Oh, oh,
Yes.
Tokyo. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
ever
a
been
small
to?
world. Everyone's traveling everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to help you guys because your intelligence level is already there. And again, guys, I'm not using flattering words. I'm aware of your level of intelligence is already developed. You just need to learn these little tips and tricks to level up
Yeah,
your English. And some of you, most of you, you are adjusted, you are accustomed and you're used to working hard for what you want. So it is normal for you to try to work really hard on leveling up your English, but it's not necessary at this point. You need to just have these little tips on how to shape a word or how to do something the right way. And almost like overnight, you will see the difference in your English. It just takes going slower and doing things more intentionally until your
yeah,
brain understands what you want. And then you will see, boom, big results. If you go faster or if you work too hard, you're spending too much energy, too much time. And of course, you have life, you have a family, you have a career, you might have a relationship, and all these things are pulling at your time all day. And you think, I need to practice 5 hours a day like in college. It's not true. It's not true. You just need to do the right things the
Yeah.
right way,
Yeah.
and then boom, 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 boom. Your English will level up. So if
yeah,
I'm going to create a new series when I work with you guys one on one. Like if we were working together now, I would, record this. And that way people who are watching can relate to you guys and they can see how quickly you level up in like if we spent a half hour together, they would see that your English would change so fast in a short time and they would feel encouraged to do it. Of course, we're not recording now. Hello Talk doesn't record these things. Well, I don't have
yeah,
access to the recordings. I'm sure they're
yeah,
recording it, but we'll do it in another way and we'll be able to use it. And of course, you guys will know whenever we're recording. I wouldn't do it without telling you, but
yeah,
Mhm.
that's the
yeah.
idea.
We always don't
It
have
means
the chance to use what I'm learning, and then you will forget it. If today I learned a few words, if I don't use it, then I will forget it.
There's an
Yeah,
expression, if you don't use it, you will lose
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. But it's
mm,
hard because we don't have the English environment, right? We don't have
Well,
someone to talk in English.
yeah, it's
like
true. That would be ideal, but you have to deal with what's real. So it would be ideal if you were immersed in an English environment. And you're right, your brain would receive that as a higher priority and you would learn English faster. But the reality is, you're living where you're living, whether it's in Japan or in China,
yeah.
and you
Yeah,
have a lot of things to do. So, what I always remind people is that Hello Talk, you're here, and there's a lot of people in our audience that are wanting to learn and practice their English, and many of them are in your country. And so you guys have to network. You have to connect with people on Hello Talk. Maybe make a little group so you have a variety of people that have the same goals as you do, and make that time, make that 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, even after our live stream. We're here almost every day. So if you don't get on stage like
yeah,
Vivi and Happy are on stage today, don't
yeah,
worry. Tell everyone,
yeah,
hey, do you want to practice the topic from Jonathan's live stream after the live stream for 10 minutes before we go to bed? Yeah, sure. No problem.
but
So
there's a less
you get a
choice
chance.
because the it's not all the live rooms are suitable for me. You know, some hosters, his English, I I'm not I can't understand that clearly. So I just choose some hostess room. Yeah,
Mm,
I can understand. Your your English is very very clear. I can fully understand. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
speaking of what you say the learning English need will take time, step by step. So
Mm-hmm.
when sometimes I saw some ads, English ads, the ads always says you in one you can improve a large step in 1 month, or you can speak English fluently in 1 month if you take our course. And I think it doesn't make sense, because if you are learning English, then you understand it's not possible, right? Okay, depends
It's
on
mm-hmm.
what level your English is, right?
It depends. There's so many variables that those statements like that are very much merchandisey because that's what everybody dreams of, right? Like plugging something in and waking up and speaking like a native, right? So
Yeah,
people's learning techniques are different with each person, how much time you have available, how serious you are about it. There's a lot of variables. What are your goals? What makes you feel? Some of you already have a job in another country and you don't need to learn English for the IELTS or the TOEFL exam. Some of you just want to sound different, and others can get a promotion or get more money if they sound
yeah,
different. So
yeah,
I'm a communicator. So there are many live streamers here who are talkers, and they say a lot of great things. But
yeah,
unlike with a communicator, they don't care where their words land. They just say it. You figure it out, right? Like
yeah.
when you go to college, your professors are professing things. You have to figure out what they're professing. So, there.
Jonathan, can
Hmm.
I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
What's your job? Because you are very talkative.
Well, it
When I
would be better
host
to
a
ask me.
live room, I sometimes I don't have that much to talk about. If I host a live room, I think I don't have, yeah, don't have. So what makes you you're so talkative? What's your job? May
Well,
I
no, the
ask?
job is you have asked, yeah. And the profession is not important. It's not like other people. So you should ask someone what is your passion because your passion in life is made up of your gifts and your ability and your community, right? M-
So
Most people
your
most people are
passion
not.
your passion talk to communicate with the people,
No, no. My passion is connecting with people. So
collection
because that
people.
because that's my passion, I have gifts and abilities that support that passion, but many people are not paid for their passion. Many people don't want pay for their passion because it takes away the passion, right? If you have to do things for pay. So to me, my passion is people, and I'm a communicator, not a talker. So to me,
What did you mean pay? What did you mean? You have to pay for your passion.
Happy's catching on to this. She's like, be quiet, let him talk.
Take time, spend the time, spend the
I
money.
still I still heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So when I talk, I'm thinking, I'm processing my thoughts. So if I can't talk freely, then I lose my train of thought. I don't do well with a quick interaction. So that's why I just get quiet when there's too much communication because I can't think,
So are you just so talkative in this live room, or in reality you're also talkative with your friends or family or colleagues, so, or
Okay.
just you're talkative in the live room?
Yeah, so talking is one part of communication.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, people who talk don't often listen. Have you ever talked with somebody and they were just waiting for the next thing to say? They didn't hear what you were saying at all? They're talkers. They're
Yeah,
only interested in putting their words out there. They're not
This is,
listening. They're not,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
this is,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
social
listener.
skill.
I'm good listener.
Sorry, Happy, what was that?
I think this is a good social skill.
It is. It used to be common for people to communicate,
Yeah.
and now people
Like
just
me,
talk.
I don't know how to speak with friend or new friend. I don't know how to find a topic to speaking.
Well, it's a process. You're both from a country where communication is not a big thing.
Um,
So you have to learn how to communicate. It takes listening and talking.
mm,
Happy, you are in Japan. You have the a language environment to talk with the people in English.
Actually, living in Japan have many chance to speak Japanese. When I first year came to Japan, I learning the Japanese 1.5 year. But now
Oh,
I but now my uh I haven't speak very well. And sometimes I choose to speak English.
so
Yeah, so guys,
you just learned your Japanese in 1.5 year, and you
Yeah,
can work in Japan in
yeah.
Japanese to communicate fluently.
Yeah, I have so many chance to speak Japanese with
Wow, you're
Japanese,
talented. You're talented.
but but the Japanese
Just
always
one half
choose
year.
speak English to me.
hi guys. Let me take the steering wheel back again.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
You're the host. Okay.
You guys can make good friends. You guys can have these
Why
conversations. That's great.
why do you learning English, Vivi?
No,
Uh,
hold on a second, guys. I need to regain control. Otherwise, the live stream will go over here. So if you guys are interested in communicating with each other, you can do that. You can click on each other and you can say, let's learn about this together. That would be great. But I feel like we're going over here. And so I need to get the steering wheel
okay.
again.
Yeah.
Okay?
You need
So there
to
were there were a
navigating.
number there were a number of things that Vivi asked, but I have not been able to answer. So let me talk for a moment and
Mhm.
answer those things. That way, the people in the chat can feel like they're a part of this also. But it's cool to meet new friends with similar goals and talk about how to get a better environment. So we were talking about the difference between communicating and talking, and it's very important because in China and in Japan, there's not a big small talk practice. You guys do not have just casual small talk. So it becomes very hard for you to keep a conversation going
Mm.
because you're normally used to just answering when someone asks something and it stops there. Well, that's not going to work with your English because English is a building communication. It's supposed to build. Every time you talk to someone, it builds. So it's like, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? You got to send it back. And then they say, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a busy day. How about your day? Oh, my day wasn't too busy. It's been calm. And it builds. You see how it builds? Each person answers a little bit more and then sends it back. So I want you guys to picture like badminton. When you go back and forth, it's a volley, right? And as the game goes, it gets more intense because the volley goes longer and somebody wants the point. And so it gets, but in the beginning, you want the other person to hit it back. So that's why you don't start with like a, hmm, right? You got to start with something that draws them into the game. So you hit it right to them, they hit it right to you, and then you hit it over here and they have to run a little bit. And so conversation is the same way, ladies. And the only reason I interrupted is not because I don't enjoy you guys having conversation, but I want you to have something to take away from this. And I know that in China, people don't do small talk. I know that in China, it is not normal for people to speak English when you're from China to each other in public. It's a little strange. So you don't have a lot of areas where you can go and engage in your English. And so you learning about dialogue and how to attach a question on the end of what you're answering can help you to draw people into a conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and so understanding this is normal for you in your environment. It's not wrong. It's just normal for your culture. And if you see that that's normal for your culture, you can make some differences. Like I'm glad, I was going to say happy. I'm glad that Vivi and Happy are curious about each other and they had both lived in the same city and now they're in different places. I'm glad that there's an interest for you guys. I would encourage you guys to click on each other's name and send a text. And when you talk, use
Yeah,
English with each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
Don't
Of course.
slip because you want to get to know each other. So right away you're thinking, let me just talk in Mandarin because I can talk so much faster. But force yourself to only get to know each other in English. Don't allow yourself to use Mandarin. And it will be a little frustrating and you'll want to say, hold on, in Mandarin. But don't, because your desire to get to know Happy and Happy's desire to ask you questions is going to fuel you to practice your English with each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. A lot of people send Chinese people send a message to me in on how to talk, and someone always send the Chinese to me, and I said, please, I'm here to learn English to improve my English. Let's talk in English. So, and when I said that, the person goes
Because
silent. Yeah,
it's pressure and I get it. I get it, guys, but Hello Talk has so much available for free. You guys can do group calls for free where everybody can talk to each other. There's so much,
yeah.
but people don't use it. So when you meet people from your country, from your native language, you still say to each other in your native language, I can't find anybody to study with here. I know, I can't find anybody to study. And you're talking in Chinese. And I'm like, the answer's right there. You guys have each other. You just have to say, I want to get to know you. I want to learn about you and your family and your job and what you thought of Shenzhen when you lived here. And make yourself only use English. And it's going to be frustrating, but you're going to use that frustration and that passion to like, I have to get to know Happy. And I can't get to know her unless we use English. So, and so that way you guys will learn. I know Evan's like laughing, but it's the truth, guys. You have the answer right in front of you. You have the free solution right in front of you. And you don't need a native speaker. Everyone's like, I need a native speaker to practice. You don't. Most of your learning can come from practicing with each other. True. Truth. I'm telling you the truth.
But I think it's better to talk with a native English speaker than than uh, just two Chinese people talk each other in English.
Well,
If
that
they
that
are two their two's English level is not that good, sometimes the conversation will end it quickly.
well, there's different there's different contexts to that.
Yeah,
You're right. You
yeah,
should have a practice partner that is at a higher level than you in the way that they
yeah.
speak or whatever. And you should have one that's lower that you can help to teach how you learned what you learned. And that will reinforce it with you. So you're right. You need someone a little bit more advanced and someone below. But if you think of the odds or the chances of you getting a native speaker to practice with you regularly for free, it's really low, right? Because a lot of native speakers feel comfortable charging money for those activities. I don't because it's my passion. You can't pay me for what I'm passionate about. But they will charge, and sometimes they will not even help you. They just are charging because They're native. I'm a native speaker. And I don't think that's fair to you guys. Everybody needs to put their money in so many places these days. But
Yeah.
if that's your thing, then do your thing. But for me, I think the truth is you guys can level up with each other. If you have someone that you have access to, like all of you guys have access to me, and very few people text me asking me to help them. It's fine. I can't help you every day. I can't be your practice partner. I would love to, but it's not realistic for what goes on in my life. But I can send you video clips. I can send you audio clips. We can work together, and then you can take that information and go to your study group of other native speakers, and you guys can, hey, let's talk about what he talked about today, or let's look at the slideshow that he sent us together on WeChat, or whatever, and you guys can level up. So, yeah, I would love to. I would,
Actually,
yeah, go ahead. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you, Vivi. Go ahead.
actually, I I try to talk to Chinese in English, but sometimes, as you said, yeah, someone whose level English level is higher than me, then he or she doesn't want to talk with me because they are always want to find someone whose English level higher than themselves. You know, so
Yeah,
this is the conflict.
it
And
is a
I also
conflict.
tried to send a message to. Actually, I'm a very introvert person. At first, I just waiting someone to send a message to me and to can talk with, can to communicate in English. But no native speakers send a message to me, and I think I can wait to someone to talk to me, and so I just actively to send a message to some native speaker to ask for help, ask for talk in English. But you
Mm-hmm.
know there are less native speakers here on Hello Talk, and they will maybe they might receive hundreds and thousands of messages from from learners, other
No.
learners. So they are always polite, and just if someone who is very polite can reply back, said hi or something, but the conversation is always ended quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Well,
comes to to what you have said before. You have to make some make the conversation. How to make the conversation go on? Oh, sorry, my time is limited. I
ah,
gotta
okay.
go. Thank you very
All right.
much. I think I
You're
learned
welcome.
something. Bye bye,
Oh,
happy.
good.
Bye bye, Jonathan. Thank
Bye
you. Bye
Bye,
bye,
bye.
Vivi. See you
Vivian.
later. What happens with a lot of people, guys, is that you guys mention really good points and you mention your need for help or your perspective, and I want to comment on that so that you can receive, guidance. And but I know it's exciting to talk to a native speaker, and all of these things flood your mind, and you want to keep going. But that allows for a lot of things put out there with no solutions, right? So when I'm trying to interact and communicate back with you, it might be beneficial to let me comment on some of the things you're mentioning because, especially with China, I've worked with you for many years now, and I understand where you're going with what you're saying, and I can usually give you the solution in a few words. But it is exciting to finally talk to a native speaker. I get it, and to have a place where you can use. And with her, Vivi, she was limited in time because she's not VIP, so she might have felt that urgency, like, she's running out of time, and she's like, I have to get this out there. But super cool person. I'm glad we had her, and happy. Thank you for being so yielding to let her process her thoughts. That was cool of you.
Hello. Jonathan, I'm here.
Yeah, I know
Can I
you're here.
speak? Continue.
Yeah, yeah, of course. How can I help you today?
Oh, today this is the first time. Oh no. When I know down the Hello Talk, I will start the practice my Japanese with and after I find I can practice my English also.
You
So
can.
this is
Hmm.
first time. Go. This is my first time. Speak online on this app.
And I see that you're VIP, so you're not in a
Yeah.
hurry. That's good. But yeah, I like the way you said you found people to practice with, and I think that remember, guys, a perfect study partner is not found; it's developed, right? So you have to find someone with a common goal, and ideally finding people with a common time frame. So
Right.
when you see the people in the chat right now, that should tell you a couple of things. It tells you they have a common goal. They want to learn
Mm-hmm.
English. They want to expose themselves to English. And it should tell you that they have this time available because they're here and you're
Yeah.
here. So you guys
Yeah.
have this time, same
Yeah.
time.
This is my friend recommend Hello Talk to practice my Japanese, and the same time I think this is a good chance to practice my English. Because I have every day reading email of English.
Hmm.
So, but my communication not good. Communicate not good.
But see, that's great that you are aware of what you need to work on. That is really great. Many people don't know what they need to work on, and when you ask them, thank you, Hannah, they say, I need to work on everything. So you need a plan, you need a strategy. Again, guys, like fitness, you need to have a plan at first, just getting into a routine, going to a gym or doing certain things. And eventually you need to work on diet and sleep, and you see how all these things work together. And English is the same way. You guys have a good foundation because of schooling, but you need to target the things that you need to work on, which might be just having conversations because in your country or in your culture, they're not known for having long conversations. So you have to work on that before you can develop your English. And of course, remember everyone, you are working hard in so many ways, especially the people of China, but other countries, you're all working very hard. And you need to learn to have fun while you're learning English also. It's a smaller portion, but you need to work hard and have fun so that you
Yes.
stay engaged. So taking a day off and not doing any of it so your brain can rest is going to work against you. So you can let your brain rest by playing some English games or doing nursery rhymes or sharing songs or tongue twisters or something that is
Culture.
no pressure, right? Compared to focus, 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 focus.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yes. Tongue twist. Yeah. Uh, uh, because I live in Japan for 3 years. Uh, uh, Lot so many good friends around, and with family always speak Japanese. Always speak Chinese. And when I started the practice English or Japanese, I my tongue, uh, a lot my tongue it was not how lot flexible.
Oh, your tongue is, oh, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
that could, okay, sorry. My brother was texting me here, so I always try to check and see if he needed me to do something. Um, yeah. Oops. Wait, I'm on the wrong screen. I wanted to see your chat. Yeah. Yeah. So you would practice the things.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can get back there, guys. There we go. I blow up the chat on my MacBook behind me so I can see what people are saying because it's so small on the phone. Um, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so getting your tongue more flexible. So these are exercises and practices, and you're not camera on now, so it's okay. But I've done this one-on-one with people, and training your brain and the muscles that are in your facial area, your
Mm-hmm.
tongue, your lips, your teeth, and everything. It takes overemphasizing things so that those muscle groups cooperate together in a way that maybe they haven't cooperated with each other before. And so, like someone said, they have a hard time opening their mouth because they talk, versus a lot of the things we say in English. And you can practice that in the mirror, making
Mm.
contact, which alerts your brain that you're doing something different, right? Because it's not
Mm-hmm.
normal to touch your face when you're talking. So if you're looking in the mirror, you're activating your
Okay.
visuals. If you're
Yeah.
making contact with your skin, you're waking up your brain like, why is he touching his, what's going on? So your brain is more alert, like this is new, this is new. Everybody pay attention, this is new. And then when you're exaggerating words, you're stretching your facial
Mm-hmm.
muscles, you're putting your tongue where it's supposed to be in your teeth in your mouth. It's a brand new thing, but it's registering with your brain in a different way like, hey, let's be alert. This is something going on. And so as you do that over and over again slowly, you're reinforcing that muscle memory and you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I expect from you. If you go fast, you will do it properly one or two times and you'll slip right into the old way of saying it, which means you are reinforcing the wrong way more
Mm-hmm.
than reinforcing the new way. So when I talk with people and I go through the exercises one on one and they feel comfortable with it, and then I talk to them the next week, I don't see any improvement because I'll make them say the things fast, like in conversation or in something I have them read, and they'll slip right back into the old way. So I know, Annie, hi, I know that when they're practicing too quickly and they say it right or they say it the new way a couple of times and they slip and they don't hear the change. They don't hear that they've slipped. So a lot of the things I help people with, Happy, are very basic and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, guys, I know this seems simple. I know you're way more intelligent than the exercise I'm giving you, but to go slow is to learn fast. To go slow is to learn fast. It's
Yeah.
really the way it is.
Thank you for your advice. I will try tomorrow. Sometimes I can reading book and make a video. Uh, I can speak uh, fluently and clearly, but when I talk to someone, chatting something, maybe I have a little nervous. I maybe I have a nervous. I think too much grammar and the words and make a
Yeah.
sentence. How to make
Yeah.
a how to make a perfect sentence.
But you are very adaptive, Happy. I want to tell you that you're very adaptive. How long have you been in Japan?
I live in Japan almost 3 years.
Yeah, because I can hear both a Chinese accent and a Japanese accent in your English. So that tells me that you're very adaptive, which means you are imitating what you're hearing around you. That's a great feature that you have. So if you hear people speaking the English that you want and you hear it over and over again, you have the ability to adapt because I hear Japanese in your English. So
Mhm.
that means you're pronouncing things the way you hear some of your Japanese friends
Oh, really?
pronouncing English. Yeah. So all you this is a good feature. It's adaptability.
Uh-huh.
So if you hear a source of English consistently, then your brain will automatically imitate what it's hearing because you have adaptability built in. It's a feature from the factory of life, right?
Yeah.
So knowing that you have that, you should just keep the same source. And that's why we made, if you're in Japan, you might have access to our YouTube channel. So we have YouTube channel,
Yeah.
we have podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm going to launch a new podcast. I have already created it, but I haven't
Yes.
opened it yet. So if you want materials, if you have idioms that you want me to explain, even if you're open to being on a live recorded session, then we can work together to create content. But you already have some content where I'm explaining things. And I think if you keep listening to my voice, you'll start to adapt your English to the way I say things automatically without effort because you have adaptability. So think about it. It's kind of cool, right? It's a
Yeah,
cool feature.
yeah. Now I have need to mix to three language. Yeah, because uh when I speak Japanese, Japanese when you speak Japanese, no need ex, ex, extract muscle face, no big mouth, no and little voice, and yeah, pronunciation different pronunciation
Hmm.
different with English and Chinese. And when I Chinese people speak Chinese, and every word speak clearly.
Yeah,
So sometimes when I go out with someone speak Japanese, I need to try to uh, copy Japanese like a small voice, not big mouth. Yeah, and
right, right.
and now
Whereas
I talk to
Americans are
you.
big mouths.
Yeah, yeah. I talk to you with English. I need uh呃，how to say extra 好夸张的big mouth and relax muscle.
Yeah, yeah, it is. There are different ways of talking, you're right, but you have adaptability. And so you imitate. And I want to share with you, Happy, as well as other people who feel this way. I don't think that it's accurate. Many people in China say they are introverted, they are shy. I believe most of that is a way that you've been shaped by your culture. I do not mean that in a negative way, guys. This is just an awareness. If your culture promotes silence and yielding and minimizing your verbal expression, then you will grow up and you start interacting with the world and you say, "Oh, compared to them, I'm shy." Or some people use it as an excuse for not dealing with the pressure of having to perform. You say, "Well, I'm shy." But I think most of the time it's something you've learned or been conditioned to believe and you actually aren't. You aren't shy. You might not be extroverted like me, but you're at least ambiverted, which means you can be energized by interacting with people. People who are introverted are energized
Yeah,
by being by themselves. And that's not a bad thing, it's just a thing. So I want to encourage you guys stop using it as an excuse or reason. Let yourself grow into communicating more and adapt. Just like Happy discovered today, she has an automatic adaptable feature where she tries to assimilate what people are saying, how they're talking, what they're doing. So use your features, use your abilities, and for some of you, discover that you're actually not shy. It's just been
yeah,
something you're used to saying, and you might be more of a combination. And so I would just say, put away the excuses, start to imitate and emulate the environment you want to be in, and then find someone who speaks English in a way that encourages you, meaning that you hear and understand most of what they're saying, and then stick to that. If you're going from my English to somebody from the UK, and then you're going over to Australia, your brain is going to have so many different things it's trying to imitate that your progress is going to be very slow.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Most Chinese has are also introverted like me.
They say that
And
they're not. They say
yeah.
it, but they're not.
But
Yeah, they.
when
Hmm.
I moved in Japan, I started to change my personality. To be extrovert, to be
Yeah,
going out.
of course. And I
Yeah.
don't think you changed. I think you discovered. I think you discovered it. And again, I like the reserved culture of China. It's very respectful. It's very modest. It's great. It's great. But you have to understand if you've been shaped that way because that's the acceptable way that people act in your country, then you have to discover your extroverted side. Like Candy, our co-host, when I first met her, she's really quiet and really shy, and she kept saying that. I'm introverted, I'm shy. And I was like, okay. And after a while, now when people see her, she's very talkative. She's great at summarizing things and emphasizing points. And she says, "Well, I need to be extrovert at work, and I need to do." And I think she's discovering she's ambiverted, which means in some environments she's
Mm,
energized by being talkative and interactive, and in some environments she's
yeah,
energized by being to herself. And so it's not so much your concrete introverted guys. You just have to discover
yeah.
different parts about
Yes,
yourself.
yes, yes. Different environment, you think different. Like in even in Japan, I always worried make a mistake. Like yeah. So I up to now every night I listening podcast 20 minutes in English and 20 minutes in Japanese. So my put in every day, put out a bit.
Ah, yeah. And for you learning adapting to two different languages and styles is going to be a little challenging, but again, another reason for you to work smarter instead of harder because you don't need to feel that kind of pressure every day, with all of your goals and everything. It can be fun. You have to find your passion in the process. Find your passion in the process. What things do you really enjoy about the process? And then when you have to do the hard things that you don't enjoy to accomplish the process, I don't enjoy watching my diet. I don't enjoy it because I like to just eat when I'm hungry. But I know if I watched my diet and ate more things better and consistently, I would have better results on my fitness. I know that, but I'm lazy when it comes to diet. I just eat when it's time to eat. I don't eat junk food necessarily, but I don't eat the right foods at the right times in the right amounts.
Yeah.
So that's my part of fitness that lacks. So all of you with your development in languages, if you're doing more than one language, you have to assimilate the culture, you have to adapt to the way they say things. Sometimes you have to learn slang and idioms. But have a goal, guys. Look at yourself objectively. Think of your goals. Think of your timeline and then plan a pathway to that goal. You could adapt it, but you got to
Mhm.
have a plan, guys. Otherwise, you'll feel like you're always learning, never growing, not sure when you arrived, not sure when you left, right?
Oh yeah.
You'll be in limbo and you'll be frustrated and you'll be saying to your friends, you don't have time, you don't have time, you don't have time. But it
Oh,
doesn't mean that you're progressing. So it's
yeah.
okay to say, I don't have a lot of time to go to Boba or hang out with you every day, but I can hang out with you on Wednesday at this time, or I can hang out with you. Have time for life and living and have a plan so that you can measure your progress and you can say, I am growing. Or you're like, you know what? I'm
Mm,
spending a lot of time doing this, but I'm not growing. What the heck? So,
yeah. Keep. Yeah. Yes. It's right. Right thing. We should keep going
yeah.
with
If if Japanese is your priority, then you'll spend more time learning Japanese. If English is your priority, then you'll spend more time doing that. But you have to look at it, measure it. What are you doing for it? Or are you just catching things as they go? Or do you have a deliberate focus and goal and, progress, progress, progress?
yeah. Yes. Yes. Progress
Yeah,
every
I
day. Improve a little.
every day. I sent you a hand wave, Happy, so we can stay in touch. I should probably just follow you too, right? Yeah, just follow you.
Mhm.
But don't hesitate. Someone said earlier that they imagine they get hundreds or thousands. Well, at one point I did get hundreds of um, I was going to say emails, messages, but they're always very superficial, guys. Most of them, like they send the hand wave. Okay, I'll send you a hand wave back. Or they'll say, "How are you?" Okay, I'll say, "Fine." But it's more productive with me
Yeah.
if you guys let me know about yourself and your goals and then ask me something, you know, like targeted. because then I can answer you specifically and directly and give you an answer, and you can grow from it. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a different class, like different class, like Chinese, the Chinese 9 class, and British men 9 class. But I don't have enough time to learning uh, each class. So
Yeah, that happens a lot too. It's like when
yeah,
people pay for a gym membership and
yeah, yeah,
they go for a few weeks and then they don't go and they keep paying because
yeah.
they don't want to stop paying because they feel like they'll stop the chances of getting better shape. But but just like with that example, it's easier to pay than it is to put in the work. And it is frustrating if you don't think you're growing at all. You're putting a lot of effort, not growing. So
I
I would say at a certain point, you can pay for help if you're ready to dedicate the time.
yeah,
Like Tosif says, it's about priorities. And you have to be honest with yourself. If you cannot give the priority to English learning towards your goal right now, then plan in the future. Okay, right now I'm busy with this project or this at work, but in November is going to be my focused month. And in that month of November, my English focus is going to be vocabulary. So I'm going to learn 10 new solid useful words every week.